there, it's Patricia here, and I'm so excited to have you back here for our episode this week. We are going to be talking about interior design tips for feng shui. And a quick reminder, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And of course, hit that bell so that you will get notified every single time a new video gets released in my channel. Interior design tips for feng shui. We may have heard in the past that feng shui is all about interior design, or maybe you've conceived it or thought that, and that's really not the case. As a feng shui consultant for many years now, I actually don't give interior design advice, and I don't tell my clients what they should and shouldn't do really around placement, which kind of seems a little bit odd probably for you. But I consider myself an acupuncturist for your home or an energy worker for your home, and we're really working on the invisible energy of your home. So we're activating some parts that really bringing your home into flow and balance. But there are a few key things that I would say to people if you are looking for advice regarding interior design. And this is literally what I would talk to my clients around, would be the use of color in your home. So we love using color in our homes, and I do recommend colors in your house, but I want to really let you just kind of drop into the use of certain colors to think about the impact they may be having in certain rooms and where to avoid them or maybe use them a little more. So the first color is the color red. The color red in feng shui is associated with prosperity. If you've ever seen the Chinese New Year, there's always great celebrations and everything is red. Or if you go to a wedding, they exchange red envelopes with money in it. So it's very much associated with joy, happiness, prosperity. So you'll be thinking, oh my God, maybe my whole house should be red if it's associated with prosperity. But we wanted to go, I'd be like, no, we definitely don't want your house covered in red. So the element fire element is associated with fires, and you just have to think about the actual fire element itself. So fire burns, it can go out of control, but it also creates earth. So when we think about that fire element, we definitely don't want to feel burnt. We don't want to feel like burnt out, and it can be dangerous. So when we are considering bringing in red or fire elements, that will be like oranges, dark pinks, burgundies into our space, you want to be mindful about the use of it. In my Powerhouse program, I'm very specific on places for placing fire element, but it's bespoke and depends on your actual house and the personal rapport we create for our clients. But for this case, it's just being really mindful. We don't want excess red in our house. Now, where would you kind of say definitely to minimize excess red would be in the bedroom and in the kitchen. So why in the kitchen? So the kitchen is because there's already a lot of fire in the kitchen. Even if you don't have like a gas burning stove or gas stove, there's still a lot of heat, and that would be associated with the fire element. The next one we're going to talk about is the water element and the color blue. So blue can be seen and considered as very calming, soothing, and very beautiful. But also on the flip side, excess blue could be a sense of, it connects with the emotions. It can feel like you're kind of drowning or underwater, like this too much water element. Water can feel cool, calming, but also it can feel cold and damp. So you want to, it's like about getting a real balance in your space when it comes to colors. And with blue, we wouldn't have excess blue in the bathroom because there's already a lot of water element in the bathroom. We have the taps, the sink, the toilet. So there's the bath. There's like a lot of already things with water element there. So we don't usually recommend a lot of blue in the bathroom. Now, when we think about the colors, we then want to bring in and think, okay, well, where does the blue tone even go to? Because there's pastel blues, like very light blue, would actually be more like metal element in a house. And I would lean towards, for interior design purposes, more neutral colors in a home, and then start to add the elements or add the colors in as little splashes in terms of cushions or throws or lampshades or artwork. And that means that you have more flexibility in terms of the decoration decor of your home in terms of being able to move things and they're not set in stone, especially when it comes to, say, for example, painting walls like full block colors of like red or blue. It could create a big drastic impact on somebody's energy. I remember one of my clients specifically had a big red wall in the center of her home. And usually we don't really do any structural changes or even painting of the house if it's kind of painted quite neutral colors. But this red wall, I had said to her, I was like, you know, you need to consider this. Like, let's get all your feng shui remedies in, get the balance in, but we definitely need to consider this wall to be muted a little bit. And she was like, okay. So she'd been working with me for several months, and then she said, okay, I'm going to do it. So she painted that wall, and she noticed a dramatic change in her mood and humor. So she's a naturally happy person and a kind of a joyful person. But since she'd moved into that house, her family had noticed that she would get these like crazy anger outbursts out of nowhere, like this kind of like fiery, like rawr. And they were like, what? Like, where does that come from? Like, we're not used to that. Like, what? And when she changed the color on the wall of this area, they just stopped. So it's like when we bring in these strong elements, for example, like the red or the blue, they can really trigger things and responses in us that that we don't even realize could be happening. So it's just to keep that in mind. In terms of interior design advice and with the feng shui, and I think a lot of interior designers will stick to really good basic feng shui things. I've had architects in my classes, I've had interior designers in my classes, and the most things I would say to them is about like just those kind of really vibrant colors and will be the one to watch out for, because most of the things in terms of like setting up your bedroom for success, which is available. I have a whole video on feng shui your bedroom realistically, a realistic approach, gives you guidelines in terms of bed positioning, and you know, I love interior design often like keep like that sense of like balance and equilibrium and 2 lockers, 2 bedside tables, that it looks very beautiful aesthetically. But for me, it's really more about the elemental energies, and that will be to do with the colors. So I have an incredible guide for you that is a checklist that's going to show you room by room what exactly you can be doing to improve the flow of energy and activate feng shui in your home. This guide and checklist is usually just for my clients, so you're in luck that you'll be able to get it today as a gift from me. You can grab that guide at patricialohan.com/checklist, and that will move you through every single room to feng shui your space and get that flow of all the things that you want coming into your life easy peasy. So I hope you enjoyed this little snippet into feng shui tips for interior design. But if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. I'd love to answer them. And have you ever had any experiences with things like colors like red or blue in your home?